What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Show and Go podcast, where we bring you all of your MLB The Show news and opinions. I'm Balake, also known as Mr. Perfect, and I'm here with the check swing bandit himself, Ryan Jones, and the man who's nothing short of stellar, Anthony Steller-Harter. Sit back, get comfortable, play a couple Conquest games, and listen to the sweet, sweet sound of our takes. Once this podcast gets to 100 listens, the three of us will drop our Bus It challenge on our TikTok. All three of us, same time, same place. It's going to be on the TikTok. 100 listens, everybody. Let's get it there. Anyways, Arenado to the Cardinals.
Yeah, let's get it started with Nolan Arenado to the Cardinals. They're the only team trying in their division. Thoughts?
One of 5 teams trying in baseball.
I just gotta say, I'm gonna have to freezing cold takes myself. I believe last episode I said there were rumors of Arenado to the Cardinals, and I said, I don't see it happening. I see more of a big market team like the Yankees or the Dodgers making the move. But, to be fair, I also didn't imagine the Rockies also sending $50 million of the contract along with their best player.
I think we agreed with you too, so this might be more of just a podcast-wide freezing cold take. But they sent $50 million, and a lot of people weren't impressed with the Cardinals' return. So I know Ryan spent a couple hours doing research on the prospects, so let's hear it.
Yeah, well, one of them is okay. He's a gold in the game. Hilaris Montero. He has a prospect card. So that's the research that I did.
Okay, and Arenado's not that expensive of a diamond anymore. His price dropped, so the Cardinals bought low. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, trading a gold and then a few commons for a diamond, that's pretty good. I think so.
Yeah. Anthony, comments?
I work with a bunch of idiots.
Let's touch quickly on some free agent signings we talked about at length before they signed. Real Muto re-signed with the Phillies, 5 years, 115, and Springer went to the Blue Jays for $6,150. I mean, I don't think either of these was a complete shocker. Anthony, what do you think?
I think Phillies fans must be relieved. I feel like it's a big weight off their shoulders that they finally fucking signed JT Realmuto. I think the bigger thing, though, honestly, is Blue Jays fans have something to be excited about. They got Springer and Oh, wait. They didn't get Brantley. My bad. Just kidding, obviously. But Springer's a big pickup for the Blue Jays. They're going to be a fun team to watch. I honestly really hope that they did get Brantley because, 1, screw the Astros, and 2, that lineup would have been absolutely filthy with Brantley, but they still have a bright future ahead with Springer and the young talent that they already have.
Yeah, it relies mostly on the pitching. Blake, do you think they're going to make any other moves this offseason besides the pickup of Simeon, which we also saw recently?
And Kirby Yates, too, not to be forgotten.
And Kirby Yates, yeah, they're definitely adding to the pitching.
I think the Blue Jays have had a pretty active offseason so far. I think there's probably, I'd give it a 0% chance they make another move. There's no way I'm going to be wrong. And I think they're done building. They're done building this team. They're going to ride it into 2021, and they're going to see how far they can get. I think we said this last podcast. I'll say it again. I think they could take second place from the Rays. The Rays have gotten worse. Really don't know if they're going to be making a splash. They really don't most off seasons. So you could see the Blue Jays in second place to the Yankees, or if the Yankees are just their normal trash can selves. Actually, that's a bad word. That wasn't an Astros pun. Since the Yankees are normally a dumpster fire, the Yankees could end up in second place. And let's say the Rays stay hot without Snell. They got Chris Archer back. Let's just pretend Chris Archer is going to be Tampa Chris Archer and not Pittsburgh Chris Archer. The Rays could take second place. The Blue Jays could take first. That means the Yankees are at third. If the Red Sox entire rotation is healthy and they sign Trevor Bauer and Babe Ruth back, the Red Sox could take third place. So we're looking at Yankees 4, Orioles 5. Yankees are way better than the Orioles, so Yankees are at 4. That's my division prediction for the AL East.
I don't know. I think legally, since they had Carl Yastrzemski, they have Mike Yastrzemski under contract too, so he should be playing for them.
That is how it worked. I checked the contracts in MLB. Yeah.
Red Sox fans, am I right? Jared Carrabis, come get your mans. Yikes.
Nah, Carabas would say they were going to take first. I said third place. Which is sad that that's a stretch nowadays, but it's all good. We recover, we move on.
Now let's go to the second best team in the AL. The Twins re-signed Nelson Cruz and signed Andrelton Simmons to 1-year deals.
I mean, Nelson Cruz is probably going to hit homers into his 50s, so I like it. Plus, he can still DH for sure. And then Simmons is just one of the best defenders in the game since he's come up, so they're really solidifying their lineup again, especially in a division that's not that competitive. So
to balance out my freezing cold take about Arenado not going to the Cardinals, last episode I think I said the Twins need to make a move, and look, they finally did. So looks like they're actually trying to compete in that division with the White Sox with all the moves they've made this offseason.
Yeah, and some more middle infielders came off the board. La Stella, 3 years to the San Francisco Giants. Jurickson Profar got 3 years to San Diego. And Didi got $228 to go to the Phillies. Anthony, this does not leave many people on the board for the A's to sign. It hurts me as an A's fan to watch this just go downhill. They're throwing away the primes of the Mats. What's your take on it?
As of right now, I don't know what we're going to do with our middle infield. Like you said, like Ryan was texting me earlier today, that as of right now, if the season started, our middle infielders are Chad Pinder and Tony Kemp. And those are not two middle infielders that I can see help leading us win a division over the Astros right now. Simeon was a huge help, and La Stella was a huge pickup at the trade deadline. So it's rough, man. There's not many middle infielders left, so I don't know what we're going to do. MLB, get involved. Get John Fisher the hell out of here. I want Jose Canseco to buy the team and Ozzie Guillen to be the manager. Ring within 7 years, no less. Guaranteed.
They had the talent of a third-place team in that division right now. The Astros are better, and the Angels are better.
I hate to agree.
Talent-wise, on paper.
really, okay, all right. The A's usually find a way to be competitive, but like you said, the Astros, even after Springer's gone, still are really scary in that division. I still think they're probably the favorites.
See, Blake, here's what worries me. Being an A's fan, it's a cycle. It's the couple years where we're really good, and then it's fall off. Because for earlier this decade, it was 2012, 13, and 14 was the fall off. And then we made the wild card in 17, 18, 19, won the division in 2020. That's that 4 years. Here's the fall off. I hate to say it, but I can see it happening with the cycle of it as being an A's fan. I just hope I don't see it, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to watch, guys. It's tough to watch from the outside looking in. I'm sure it's even harder to watch from the inside. But hopefully they make a move and they solidify that infield again. Oh, wait. Okay, hold on one sec. I have my Bob Nightingale tweet notifications on. Yeah, I'm getting news that Chapman signed with the Yankees for 12 years, $1 billion. Oh, Nope, sorry. Nightingale was wrong. He was trying to predict the future.
We don't joke about that thing here, Blake. We don't.
We're trying to be more family friendly. You can't say the Y word here anymore, Blake. Brad Hand signed a 1-year deal, $10 million to the Washington Nationals, the Sean Doolittle replacement. I think he's super underrated, and this was a really good move by them for a bullpen that's been lacking for a while.
Am I missing something? Is Doolittle not still going to be with the Nationals, probably?
No, Doolittle was a free agent. He actually signed recently with the Reds. 1 year, $1.5 million.
I did not see that. Wow.
Wait, Doolittle only got $1.5 million, and Hand got 10?
Yes.
Oh my God, you're joking.
Doolittle's underpaid.
Damn, dude, $1.5 million compared to 10. All right, well, one thing that I think that I'm tired of hearing is MLB teams not wanting to spend when their biggest weakness is the bullpen, cough, cough, Red Sox, and like half the league. Because there's a lot of bullpen guys who seem affordable that are like solid MLB level relievers, you know? It's hard to find pitchers, and I think if teams were more willing to spend on just a reliever or two, You could get a lot of teams who their competitiveness shifts when their bullpen isn't completely blowing games. But maybe that's just me. I'm not an MLB GM, so.
Speaking of the Red Sox, Anthony, I would like a reasonable take here, so I'm going to you.
That's fair.
They signed Garrett Richards to a 1-year, $10 million deal and Kike Hernandez to a 2-year, $14 million deal. Does this put them anywhere close to the Blue Jays, or?
No.
I mean, second place in the division, honestly, at this point. Am I right, Blake?
No, you're dead wrong. They're still a fourth place team.
There's still a fight for fourth place team. It's not a guaranteed fourth place.
If the Red Sox lose to the if the Red Sox lose out fourth place to the Orioles, we're going to have to seriously rethink everything about this team. That would be so unfortunate. I would cry myself to sleep. But anyways, I like those signings. I mean, Kike's cool. He's a Brock Holt light, nothing special. Garrett Richards, I actually do like that one. I kind of like taking a flyer on him. When he's healthy, he's been good. So don't really have a problem with them trying to sign him. I really think that if he's injured, then the Red Sox rotation, if you're a free agent, just stay away. Just stay away. It's okay. Nobody's going to blame you. Because for some reason, everybody keeps getting hurt in our rotation, and our bullpen just doesn't exist. So
they're turning into the Mets.
Oh, no.
Some more starters signed. Jose Quintana, 1 year, $8 million to the Angels. Happ, same deal to the Twins. And Lester, 1.5 to the Washington Nationals. Any of these guys make a big difference?
I don't know about big difference, but I think a good pickup is Lester to Nationals. Nationals are starting to bulk up in that division, it looks like. Making moves offensively and on the pitching side. So I'm liking what the Nationals are going to look like next year.
Yeah, they definitely have some upside. It's a great rotation.
I thought Lester would be considering retirement soon, honestly. But I mean, he's still got it, so let's see what he can do, especially on a cheap deal. Like, why not, I'm sure that if you have young guys coming up, Lester's a guy you're going to want to learn from. So
some other signings around the league: Eddie Rosario to the Indians, Cesar Hernandez also to the Indians on a 1-year deal, Wilson Ramos to the Tigers, Jason Castro to the Astros, Freddie Galvis to Baltimore, Zimmerman back to Nationals with a 1-year deal, and Darren O'Day signing a 1-year deal with the. Any of these jump out at you, Blake?
Yeah, the Darren O'Day definitely makes the Ottavino trade make more sense. I also think Wilson Ramos to the Tigers is really interesting. I don't know why you would sign with the Tigers at this point, but maybe they had the highest offer. Yeah, I think I lost my train of thought. So go ahead, Anthony.
I was just gonna point out that the Darren O'Day is a nice pickup for the after getting rid of Ottavino, but none of those really stick out to me to make huge moves and changes for a team. Just some nice little pickups to make the team a little bit better. But yeah, the biggest one to me is Darren O'Day to the Yankees, I'd say.
I think Ramos reestablishing value with the Tigers is a good move for him because he's going to play every day.
Another bit of maybe a little bit more sad news. Dustin Pedroia calling it quits, calling it a career. Honestly, Pedroia, I really like Pedroia, obviously, as a Sox fan. Definition of a grinder. Lifelong Red Sox. I think there's a chance his number could be retired. No guarantees, but they've been talking about it. And I hope they honor Petey in some way because I think he was mentally ready to play this game into his 40s, and his body just did not keep up. So it's a shame to see Pedroia have to go after a couple years of just not even playing.
It's not sad. It's merciful. He should be put down. Old Yeller, take him out. Shoot him in the back of the head. Sorry, Lenny. It's just time to go. Okay? It's been time. Also, you're burying the lead. Don't disrespect Josh Fegley retiring. He should have been mentioned first.
No, that's just not true. Yeah, no, I don't know. I like Petey. It was sad. Like, honestly, it was more sad seeing him try to come back after a couple knee surgeries that just were not working pretty clearly. I think Ryan, can you explain to me how retirement works with the luxury tax? Because from what I understand, I thought that he would still get paid because his contract is guaranteed, but his contract comes off the books. Is that correct?
Yes, I believe so. But I think the main reason they did this is because they had a 40-man roster crunch and he was taking up a spot on there.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't try and do that while like around the time when they traded Mookie, because they were trying to stay under and Pedroia was still on that book. It's hard to justify keeping him on there when he's not playing, you know. Like you traded Mookie without, I don't know, not forcing Pedroia to retire, but like offering him a role as a coach or something. I don't know. Seemed like there was a compromise there, but I'm sure they just left it up to Pedroia. I think he earned that right, but yeah, it's sad to see him go as a Sox fan. I would have loved to see what an injury-free career looked like. Thanks, Machado. He hates the A's. He hates the Red Sox. I think that's it on Pedroia. It's hell of a career, though. Really good start to it. I wish it would have finished the same way.
Going back to trades, we talked about Ottavino earlier heading to Boston. Tyone is heading to the New York Yankees. Musgrove is heading to the Padres, and Lucchesi is heading to Washington. Any thoughts on these guys?
Padres are snatching up any and all pitchers that they can, and I respect it. They're making moves. They want to win now, especially probably after that awful series against the Dodgers and then having to watch the Dodgers win it all. I think the Padres are hungry. They're going to come ready next season, and the Yankees getting Tyone, they're getting a stacked rotation bullpen now.
Those are a lot of underrated guys that could be a really good fourth or fifth starter for teams with a good rotation already. It'll be interesting to see. I just thought of this. I think they're the least likely team to win the World Series next year, the Los Angeles Dodgers. You got the Padres being amazing this offseason. They've had such a good offseason. And the Dodgers just won it. Like, there's no shot they win back-to-back. That rarely happens in baseball. The World Series hangover, the World Series slump, whatever you want to call it, it's a thing. I'm sorry, it's a thing. So, like, what other team has won, 3 World Series in a row? It's not going to happen. I know some old team did it way back in, like, the 1800s, but, so congrats, Padres, on the division. Actually, not even the division. Congrats on making it farther in the playoffs than the Los Angeles Dodgers. You heard it here first.
Bad Blake. Fun fact, Blake. Not every team who wins the World Series finishes in last place the next year. I know that's what you grew up on. I
really
know that's
is.
what your team always does, but it's not true.
Yeah, I am fairly used to it.
Blake just lives in a bubble by being a Red Sox fan.
You really do, man. Like, yeah, man, it has been a bubble. There's been so many championships, you kind of start to lose track, especially if you're a fan of all 4 teams. It's really hard. Anthony, I think you can relate as a Warriors fan.
I mean, yeah. I've also witnessed the A's lose countless wild cards and series, and then I've also witnessed 2 49ers blown Super Bowls. So
we all talk about starting 9 a decent amount, but I heard a funny note on there about how James McCann signed with the Mets, and he was super excited to work with Steven Matz because they throw together in the off season, and how he's super optimistic about how Steven Matz is going to have a great year and bounce back and everything. I read a couple days later, Steven Matz got traded to the Blue Jays.
That's exactly like the Arenado with Dexter Fowler like reunited thing.
Same energy.
That sounds like one of my takes. Just something like you're super excited about something that's just clearly, like in hindsight, is clearly not going to work out.
Some minor league deals across the league. We got King Felix going to Baltimore. It's going to be weird looking at him in an Orioles jersey.
Oh,
wait! Don't just gloss over that. That puts them.
Time out.
That puts
Time
them
out.
in 4th place.
Above.
Yeah.
above the Red
No,
Sox,
King
yeah.
Felix. Like, do you guys remember his perfect game? Like, can we just not gloss over that? Red Sox are in 5th place now. Orioles at 4. at 3.
Looking at his win-loss record, he's not that good. Like, him and DeGrom are kind of overrated. They don't have the skill to win games.
Whatever you say, you Rick Porcello stan.
160 wins. More than double DeGrom. He's better.
I mean, that's...
He was with the Red Sox when they were hella good, right? And then he was with the Tigers when the Tigers were the best team.
He won a Cy Young with the Red Sox.
Verlander was robbed.
Ryan, this is just a little content tip. If you say things that are obvious, it's less interesting to viewers. So that's why I usually say, like, oh, the Red Sox are actually going to win this year, because obviously that's not going to happen. But it's interesting, you know? So when you say Porcello's better than DeGrom, it's not as interesting because that's obviously true.
I'll try to say some controversial stuff going forward.
Okay, all right, yeah, let's do that from now on. Because if you combine Hernandez and DeGrom, then you're looking at more of a Rick Porcello comparison. Yeah.
I would like to make a prediction, actually. So freezing cold take or amazing take will be here in a few months or weeks, honestly. I can see J-Ram, Jose Ramirez, going to the Braves. The Indians are shopping Jose Ramirez, and it's the position that the Braves need. I'm just saying, I can see J-Ram in a Braves uni next season. You heard it here first.
Okay, Daddy Dimmu.
Daddy, chill.
What do you think the Braves have to give up? Probably a Acuna-Albies combo.
I'd say Acuna, Freddie Freeman.
I'd say Acuna.
Yeah, Albies is a no way Albies gets traded, but Freeman and Acuna kind of makes sense. Where do you guys think Ozuna signs?
Marcell Ozuna to the Blue Jays since they didn't get Brantley.
Red Sox? Red Sox, maybe? Red
That-
Sox.
My dad mentioned that he saw that somebody said Ozuna to the Red Sox, and I was not.
JBJ replacement? Playing center? Question mark?
Former Gold Glove. I want to make another prediction. What do you guys think of the Blue Jays, who need a pitcher, possibly signing like a James Paxton or a Taijuan Walker? Could you guys see either of those happening?
No, because James Paxton is from Seattle, and that's about as far away possible as you can get from Canada. So no. That's why they call him the Big Maple, because there's a lot of maple trees in Seattle. Learn your history, guys.
Ryan, I think we need to overthrow Blake as the host of this podcast.
Overthrows and coups are actually not allowed in your guys' contract, so nice try.
Our contracts contain hot dog water. Moving on.
So, Anthony, what do you where do you think Bauer's going?
He signed with the Mets, you idiot.
It's not official.
No, they confirmed it after. I'm like 90% sure they confirmed it.
I think he's going to the Mexico League.
Okay, so let's say these reports are true, that the last two teams were the Dodgers and the Mets, and Bauer signs with the Mets. Because as soon as this podcast is over, probably tomorrow, maybe a Friday news dump, Bauer's going to sign with the Mets because we're done recording. So let's just assume he's signing with the Mets.
Let's have alternate endings.
Oh, good idea. Bauer to the Dodgers. What do you guys think about that?
It's shocking. I mean, everyone thought they were going to sign him with the Mets, and he just didn't go there. Bob Nightingale was wrong for the first time. It's crazy, guys.
Pulled a Michael Brantley to the Blue Jays on that. Dodgers heavy favorites, definitely.
Yeah, they're competing with the Padres now. 3 years, $100 million. What do you guys think? $33 million a year.
Opt out every single year. Yeah, it's a great contract for the player, and honestly, a great one for the team. They got the guy. They have the best rotation in baseball now. They are the team.
They're going to let him do his own social media stuff, too, and keep doing his YouTube videos, which is huge for him, you know? Oh, man. Imagine. We'd get some spicy tweets if he was running their Twitter. Breaking news. Trevor Bauer is playing in the NFL now for the Washington football team.
All right, we learned a couple weeks ago now that no one would get into the Baseball Hall of Fame this year. It's controversial topic, but Blake, just go ahead. Yours is the right take. It's the only take, and it's unarguable. Let's hear it.
It is bad for baseball just because no Hall of Fame class. I find it hard to believe that there's not a single Hall of Famer on that ballot. Billy Wagner, I think, is one who's super underrated. Top 5 reliever of all time. One of the best lefty relievers of all time. I don't know why he's not in. Some other guys like Scott Rowland. There's some really underrated guys on there that should be at a higher percentage. And it sucks because there's not an outline here for what people want to do with these steroid guys or guys like Schilling, where you just don't appreciate what Schilling did off the field and you don't like what Bonds and Clemens did as far as the steroid allegations. So for a lot of people, it's hard to put their name on a ballot when they say they tainted baseball. But for other people, they can look past that because of how good they are. I mean, at the end of the day, that is the reason why they're getting the exception, right? Because, like, if you look at guys like A-Rod, Manny, Sosa, who are I think, actually don't quote me on Sosa, but Manny and A-Rod were both suspended multiple times for PEDs. So I think them getting in is even more of a long shot than Bonds or Clemens. But what's the cutoff here? How good do you have to be for steroids not to matter? Because I don't know if I have an opinion. I think both sides have decent arguments, although I think probably they should just get in. But what do you think, Ryan? What's the cutoff for how good you have to be for your off the field or steroids to not matter? Or does it not matter at all?
I think it's all a level of perspective because you have guys in the Hall of Fame who have used steroids. I guarantee you either Pudge did, Bagwell did, one of those guys who's been linked to it, but it's not completely certain. Yeah, Piazza. So it's tough to draw a line and say that absolutely nobody who used steroids can get in. Well, then you're dealing with different viewpoints, and it's all levels of how certain you are they used and how good they are, and everybody is balancing it themselves, and it's just a complete gray area that nobody knows how to deal with. There's Hall of Famers like Joe Morgan, who wrote a letter pleading that they never let any steroid guys in, like Bonds, Clemens. And there's other guys like Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, who think Bonds and Clemens should be in the Hall of Fame. They've gone on record saying that. Anthony, what do you think?
I just want to say that that's a conflict of interest because Willie Mays is Barry Bonds' godfather. That is all.
Yeah, that's a good point. He played alongside his dad, Bobby Bonds. But it's just so subjective, and there's no straight answer to say it. I can't wait until these guys are off the ballot, and we can just look at players for their on-the-field impact. Because this isn't what I like debating about the Hall of Fame. I like including guys because they were good, not discluding guys because they were, I don't know, cheaters or bad people.
Right. Well, and you can say that, like, with Schilling, he said some really problematic stuff towards a lot of different groups of people. He's kind of a bad person. Think about all the people who made it into the Hall of Fame that probably would agree with Schilling today if they were alive. I guarantee you there's multiple. So, like you said, Ryan, it's hard because it's hard to draw that line.
The problem with Schilling is not only is he saying these things, like, he was probably still saying them when he was playing, but he has a platform, and he's using that platform to spread what he believes.
Right.
And that's the big issue for a lot of voters.
And I think the issue that I have with it, too, is I don't know if, like, public outcry is a big enough punishment. Like, you can argue that, like, with no suspensions, no, like the worst thing that you can say happened to these people because of the decisions they may or may not have made is, like, public outcry against them, which happens to pretty much every professional athlete ever. So I'm wondering, what's the punishment here? Like, let's say they get into the Hall of Fame. I mean, did they serve a you can argue that A-Rod and Manny did, because they got suspended. You know, they did their time. Same with Braun, you know. But with these guys, you can argue that you think they also did steroids, and then they're kind of walking off scot-free. I don't know. I'm not saying that they shouldn't get in also. I'm just saying that it would be nice for, like, that to be sort of a consequence. I don't know.
And the guy who knew that they were doing it, who knew all of this was going on, Bud Selig, the commissioner at the time, he had ultimate power, and he just let it happen, and he's in the Hall of Fame right now.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mentioned Hank Aaron just now. Unfortunately, he and Don Sutton passed away since the time of our last recording. I just want to do a cool trivia notes on them. We're not doing an official trivia segment this time. So Hank Aaron is second all-time in home runs with 755. However, his single season high was 47, which is tied for 80th all-time in a single season. It's just remarkable how durable he was and how consistent he was.
Yeah, baseball's lost a lot of legends this year. It's been really tough to see. It was a tough year for everybody, I think. And for the baseball world, it was losing a lot of legends that, you know, we really weren't expecting to. It's been tough, especially during the off season, because there's no other baseball news to focus. And then, you know, then you hear about some of your favorite players passing away, and it's really tough to handle for a lot of fans. So hopefully we can honor them this year with a full season and some tributes, and hopefully their home teams can, you know, pay the proper respects.
And then my note on Don Sutton was that he played 23 years in the MLB, and he threw 200 innings in 20 of them. And in his first 22 seasons, he had at least 11 wins in each one.
They don't make them like that anymore. All right, everybody, that is going to do it from us at the Show and Go podcast. I want to give a quick shout out to the people supporting us on Twitch and Twitter and all of our other social media. We definitely couldn't do it without you guys. Our Twitch is Show and Go podcast, and my personal Twitch is Balake34. It's BALAKE 34. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and all of our other social medias at Show and Go Pod. That's at Show, the letter N, Go Pod. Finally, leave a subscription or follow and give us an honest rating wherever you listen to your podcasts. Thanks, everybody.